Hey guys, got a Puckipuppy Labrador Pro. I thought I'd do a review of it, 100-mile review, 115 miles almost, I think. Uh, Probably not many people are going to watch this video anyway, but thought I'd share some of my thoughts and what I've learned with this over the last 115 miles. Maybe it'd help you out. So again, this is the Puckipuppy Labrador Pro. It's got the bigger battery, I think 48-volt battery, and then it's also got the 750-watt hub drive motor with the Shimano 8-speed. It's a 12 to 32, and then it's got a 46 front tooth. So 12 to 32 cassette and 46 front chain ring. Then it comes with a whole bunch of extras. I don't put many on them. I like the back rack. Everything else I pretty much left off. It's been a good bike. We'll go through a few things that I've got some issues with and a few things that I want to change, and we'll go from there. So let's take a look at the bike itself. You have to excuse me. It is windy and cold today, so we're shooting this in my messy office versus outside at a pretty location. But you can see we got her muddy. I use it. Honestly, I use it probably as it's not intended to be. It's more of a commuter. I bought this to get back in shape so I can ride my other actual mountain bikes, road bikes, mountain bikes, my wife's e-bike. Boy, my place is a mess. But anyway, so this is, let's see the mileage. We'll turn it on. This is one of my gripes that I have. This thing does not, I don't know if it's just me or what, but I always get nervous when I'm trying to get it turned on. You got to press it and hold it pretty good. So yeah, you can see 114.9 miles, and I rode it today and did it with Strava. I did a 5-mile ride, according to this, almost 5 miles exactly, and Strava marked out 4.85 miles, so pretty close. I mean, not far enough. You know, the odometer on this is pretty decent. It comes with front forks. If you just ride on dirt roads or gravel, they're pretty good. But I'll show you. You can see where all the paint's wore off, and they don't really work much anymore. They pretty much completely compress when I get on them. It's got a rear shock, so it is a fully suspended bike. The rear shock actually is holding up pretty good. I got a squeak in there, and I don't know if it's in the shock or if it's in the bearings. I picked that up at about mile 65, 75. I'm gonna have to go through that, or at least see if it needs greased. The motor, gosh darn, no complaints at all. The motor works great. I think it's like a Bafang knockoff. It just says Puckipuppy on there. It does have a Shimano cassette, not a free hub. It's a cassette, which is cool. It's 12 to 32, 8-speed, and then it's just a standard front chainring 5-bolt. I think it's like a 110 BCO or BCD. I'm gonna have to learn that because that's gonna be one of the things I'm gonna do. It does come, I think, with a mirror or a cup holder and a cell phone holder. This thing, that's my only real complaint. There's stuff that I need to do or I want to do to it for my own enjoyment, but it's heavy. So adding additional weight to it is not something I'm really thinking about doing. Other than the rear rack, I have a bag for it that I'm going to put on. So let's go over a few things that I changed. It came with, came with this seat. You can see in contrast. It like, if you're going to run the throttle, so when I ride this bike, the only time I use the throttle is if I'm like trying to push it up steep stuff because I ran out of oomph or it's just too technical for this kind of bike. And then I'll use my thumb throttle right here to help push. Even my wife's fancy bike's got like a walk assist, and that's all I use it for. Otherwise, I just use it as like a pedal assist bike, essentially. So having that big seat, I took the seat off my gravel bike, which is this one. This seat, well, it's seen its better days. I put a lot of miles on it, but I just wanted to experiment before I bought something. This seat works great. You can see there's not much, maybe ½ inch or an inch on each side difference. And then this one's a little longer. This one doesn't have any shock absorption. This one does. This seat off my gravel bike worked great, but that's the one nice thing about e-bikes. If you're doing like a 15, 20 mile ride, then it becomes a little uncomfortable, where this one's kind of splits the difference. It gets a little tough in technical riding because it's a little wide to get your butt back over that tire. But, when you're just grinding out the miles, enjoying it, then it kind of helps save your butt from getting tired if you're on it for 2 or 3 or 4 hours. So then the other thing I did, this bike is rated, they say to somebody like 6'6", and you can see on the intro of the video, I'm 6'2", and I wouldn't go much bigger. Like if you want proper bike fit, if you're just going to ride it with the throttle and sit on it, it doesn't matter. But at 6'2", like to have the proper extension, you want your leg, when you're at full stroke, you want your leg almost straight, maybe a little bit of bend, like if you're on a real mountain bike. And I barely have it. Matter of fact, with the other seat, I didn't quite have it. With this seat, I actually do have almost full extension. So that takes the pressure off your knees, and it doesn't hurt your knees so bad if you ride for a long time, if you're not just throttling it. And then the compartment is pretty narrow. So compartment would be from the steering neck to like the center of the seat post. I got a pretty long torso. Matter of fact, most of my 6'2" is in my torso and arms, like not my legs. So that, because it's a shorter compartment, this came with a standard mountain bike stem. Let me see if I got it real quick. So a stem on a mountain bike, that's the piece that hooks to your the top of your triple clamp or your fork, and then your handlebars go in there. Well, because of the tighter compartment, and I also have shoulder issues, I was leaning over too far, and that's one of the reasons too why I don't ride regular mountain bikes that much. I'll show you mine someday. I got it customized. And I think this was a stem. If not, it's real similar. So I went on Amazon and I bought a stem that's adjustable, and then that way I can raise the handlebars. And then even though it's a small compartment, I brought the handlebars back so that way I have a more upright seating position. So those are the two things I've done so far. There's other things we'll go through here in a second, but the stem and the seat were like the first two major ones, because if you're not comfortable, you're not going to enjoy it. So then we're going to go to the next thing. Give me a sec here. Is the forks. You can see it on this side too. They still work. Like when I ride, the forks are basically fully compressed, and I think that's the weight of the bike. And then I'm a big guy, like 260, and I think they're just not designed for it. They say they are like a 400-pound weight, but if you're really riding, like I'll ride this on dirt roads, but then I'll take it out and ride with my buddy on single track or some pretty technical stuff. And I think I just abuse the fork. So the fork, when I ride with my weight, will sit up about here, and then there's really no more travel. So the only good thing is you can see where like the top of the travel is about right there. The rubber bands clear up, but I don't think I've ever seen that fork slide up that high. Maybe here, but that's on a hell of an impact. So it sits right in here. There's not much up travel. And one nice thing though is when you do ride over rocks or drop a little bit, the front will drop down to standard and then take the shock. But it's almost like riding a solid fork. Again, if you're not beating it up and you're not a big guy like me, you're probably not going to have issues. So it's not really a complaint. For the price of this bike, I am not going to be mad about it. Matter of fact, I'm already researching some aftermarket air forks for it to put on. Brakes work. They're knockoff. What do they say? They're Logan which I'm guessing would be a SRAM or I don't know, I haven't tore into them. They work, so I don't worry about probably a SRAM or Shimano style brake. Maybe it was a Tektro or whatever. They do the job. They're not super grabby, so like you got to run both front and rear brake together if you really want to get steep and technical. But once I got the brake pads broke in, they do work pretty good. Other than that, I mean, it's an enjoyable bike. I'm like telling you all the negatives, and I shouldn't, because really for what I paid, I think I got like 1,700 to my door. It's been fun, and it's getting me back out on bikes. So I've really enjoyed it. I love the fact that I can take it out and hit the dirt roads and run, 12, 13, 14, 16 miles an hour even. I can't go as slow as I want, and we'll get into that in a minute. And then climbing is a little tough if you're really getting after it. But just all around, it's a blast. The motor works good. It's never given me any fits. The electronics have worked, doing the ranges. Shimano, so Atlas is kind of the lower end of the shifters, but Shimano, it's with SRAM, it's good stuff. So the first few things I want to do to it is I want to take and change my chainring and my cassette, which I'll maybe do a video about that. It's pedals. They're cheaper pedals. I mean, you can see I've been dinging them already, but you know what? Until they break, I'm not even going to worry about changing them. So, and then we'll probably go to a set of just regular flats, like Stamp, make some good plastic ones. I've rode those for years on like my gravel bikes and mountain bikes. They'll break eventually, but they're tough for the price. So this thing, you can go, I've had it to like 24 or 25 miles per hour on flat ground pedaling, and then you kind of run out of motor, because I think they're designed to cut off at like 24 or 26 miles an hour. And I don't really need that. I mean, if I can get 20, 22, I'm doing good. When I ride on dirt roads, I cruise about 13 to 16. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to an 8-speed Shimano. They make 11 to 40. So that's a 12 at the bottom, and what did I say, 32 up here. So they're going to go 11 to 40. So I will get a faster high gear and then a way bigger lower gear for climbing. And then I'm going to drop this from a 46 to a 42 or a 40, because I'm going smaller on my back gear. And then even though I'm going smaller on this, they're going to compensate. I'll lose 3 or 4 miles an hour, but I still ride this thing 20, 22 miles an hour, I think. But then I get this 40 tooth, which will aid me for climbing, because that's something I've learned with these hub drives, is that I'll have to put it in like 5 power to really climb, and then I'll have it on the biggest cog, and then the motor kind of wants to take away and make me go way faster than I want. So by gearing this down, I can go a lot slower, and then let the motor and me do more of the work, or not even riding it as high of a power and have more control. The other thing is I ride with my dog, and it's just a little bit fast. If it's like a hot day, she can't quite handle it. We cruise about 6 to 8 miles an hour, and I think if I change my front chain ring, it'll be mainly in the front chain ring, I can get her where I cruise about 5 to 6, and that'll be perfect for her. Other than that, man, good bike. Everything works. I really, really enjoy it. I mean, there's some hiccups, and there's some stuff I want to sort out. There's some stuff I already did, but like in general, I mean, for the money, and if you're not, I mean, these things, they advertise them full suspension mountain bike, but they're not riding them like I ride them. I'll hook up the GoPro and take you guys on some rides. And I'm not like, badass at riding, but I do ride them a lot more heavily, single track, rough 2-track. I'll get out and cruise on gravel roads too, but I really like the technical riding. And this was not designed for technical riding, but we're going to make it work, because it's the e-bike I got. I really enjoy it. Customer service with Puckipuppy, they've been really good. The only thing that's kind of funny, I asked them about the rear cassette and the chainring. They had no clue what's even on their own bike, because I'm sure they just buy these out of China and then market them. And then they're like, well, if you do that, it might void the warranty. And it's like, well, we're going to find out, I guess. Hopefully we don't have any warranty issues. But other than that, that's kind of a wrap up of the bike. Trying to keep it short and sweet, and I never can because I'm too damn long-winded. But if you got any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, I'll maybe make some more videos once we hit like the 200 mile or 250 mile mark. But I definitely suggest this bike. I really enjoy it. My mom had an Avention in hardtail. It was a good bike too. So I mean, all these guys are making stand-up bikes, but for the money, I don't think you can go wrong with this thing. All right, thanks.